What about Mohamed Salah? Another difficult day for him. That question is starting to arise now. Like, obviously, he gets taken off late on, where Liverpool were chasing a goal at that point, weren't they?
Yeah, they just scored, didn't they? Yeah, and it's another one that you can't avoid. I think we are obviously entering this as it was always going to be the case with his contract, given the extra 2 years. We're entering this period now of Salah's career where I think it is in Liverpool's best interest to not see him as a guaranteed starter for every game, because he can't be. He's at the age of 33, and all the work he's done, all the sort of tireless energy he always has brought to the side over the years, and you are in a situation now where you're seeing defenders handle him pretty easily, and that where the ball into him and he'll hold it up, and he very rarely gets given free kicks, doesn't he? And even with that, he looks like he's losing a bit of motivation to be doing that. It's a strange watch at the moment with him, because he's not getting into the positions that we know he can do, and you're wondering, is that a tactical thing? Is that a personal thing? It's probably because of all the other players around him. And he said, didn't he, a few weeks back, he said he was still trying to find his way with these new players, and he knew how to link up with the likes of Núñez and Diaz and Jota before. There's an entirely new set of players around him, and so that will take a while. But unfortunately, the results dictate that we can't give him that grace, I don't think. And I would just like to see just another option, another option given the chances. Someone like Chiesa there, or we've seen Frimpong play there. I think that has to start becoming more of a conversation, because I don't think the way it's going, I don't think he's really pushing for that guaranteed start for me.
What do you think about it, Ghosty?
Yeah, I mean, maybe to play devil's advocate a bit, you could take Mo Salah out the team as a sort of kick up the backside for everyone else, and say, use it in trusted now to go and win Liverpool games. Go and do it, because he's had a difficult 2 months, hasn't he? Opening 2 months of the season, he scores on the opening night. Again, gets a penalty against Burnley, but too often,
was like 7 games where he's not scored in open play.
Yeah, I think that's the first time he's ever done that as well. So he's just not finding himself in areas where he can be impactful, damaging to the opposition. And on the rare chances that they're arising, he's not taking them, is he? You look at that chance against Chelsea with his right foot from Vert's flick, the one yesterday where
not even hitting the target for these.
Everyone was expecting it, weren't they? And he hit it wide, and the groan, the cop let out after that one. I feel for him, because he's not used to having these lean spells, is he? And he should be allowed this run of form because of how unbelievable he's been across the last 7-8 years, and last season as well. So I think it's fair enough if he's having a bit of a difficult time. It's on others to step up to the plate. Your Isaks, your Ekitike, who has had a good start, to be fair, and Gakpo yesterday, who scores but could have had 3 or 4 himself. So yeah, I mean, the alternative is who? Chiesa? Yeah.
A bit strange that he was signed to be the alternative to Salah, but when have we actually seen him on the right in the Premier League, in the Champions League?
Yeah, 100%. And Frimpong plays in Galatasaray, doesn't he? Because Chiesa doesn't travel, but I don't want to see Frimpong there too often.
He did okay though.
He did okay yesterday when he come on, but again, it's a game state thing, isn't it? It's Liverpool chasing it. It's all a bit frantic and forced and whatever. But Slot said a few times about the possibility of playing Frimpong there when Salah goes to AFCON. I don't want to see that too often, but at some point Liverpool are going to have to play without Salah. That will happen in December. It will happen, obviously long term when his contract's up and he moves on. So, maybe throw down the gauntlet to everyone else in what is an expensively assembled front line to, if Mo's a little bit off it, then other people have to pick up the slack.
If we try and cling to a couple of positives, obviously Gakpo played quite well, involved in everything, but I thought the subs all did pretty well when they came on as well. Like, Verts looked lively at times, Ekitike looked lively, I thought Curtis Jones played really well, Chiesa gets the assist, and Fringbong on another day gets an assist as well. So the options are there to make changes and try and find an 11 that sticks. But it seems to be the case every week where the subs come on and do something, but because there's so many changes, they then go and concede a late goal.
Yeah, it does all feel a bit thrown together. But yeah, I think you can make a case for 4 of them 5 starting probably in Frankfurt. I probably would do that, I think. But again, it's you look up and you see that. I mean, there was a moment where it was like a 4-1-5, and they're just sort of all there, and you're like, well, this wasn't the plan, was it? You know, this was not the plan when you've signed Florian Wirtz and you've got him in midfield next to Curtis Jones, who is the deepest one, and then there's 4 players ahead of him. That can't have been worked on in training. No. I mean, it's a little bit like, let's throw it all up in the air and see what happens. So, and it's a bit desperation, and it feels a little bit like that, where he's like, well, I've got all these tools at my disposal now. Let's, and you throw in Frimpong, who's going down the right hand side. So it's it just all feels like he's trying to piece these things together, which isn't something we saw last season, and is not, as I said before, it's not something you can really do during a season against good opposition. So, but no, I agree with you on. I think Curtis Jones. I've always liked Curtis Jones. I'd like to see him get more of an opportunity. I know it's difficult because you probably got Gravenberch and Szoboszlai as 2 of the first names on the team sheet, so it's hard for him to find a role in there. But I would like to see a way of getting him in the side, because I think he's got a bit more of control on the ball, a bit more. He takes his, he doesn't seem as rushed as perhaps some of the others. McAllister still isn't right, is he? I don't think. And of course, he was hampered with the issue yesterday and played like a water polo player for the afternoon. But I'd like to see Curtis Jones given a go, and I think.
Well, he might have to on Wednesday.
Yeah, he might have to with the injury, of course. Yeah. I think he has to lead into Wirtz as well.
This is the Blood Red podcast from the Liverpool Echo, giving you the inside track on all the big talking points from Anfield.